Good evening, gardening friends. Said I was going on hiatus, and this is not going to be a long one, but I just kind of wanted to give you an idea what Mom and Dad's place is looking like and give you a bit of an update. So we'll call this the September update, and I'm going to keep it reasonably short. So obviously things look pretty good here. We've got the mulch in, and we've actually received a few compliments from the neighbors, so if we're making the neighbors feel good, that's a good thing. Now let me head up the hill, and sorry about the shakiness here, try and straighten it out. But there's this one, if you've watched the videos you kind of know, there's a spot up here where I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. Now that's probably not going to look real great, but you can kind of see the little holes in there. That is, oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me in a minute. It's basically a weed that we don't like, that the fire department doesn't like, and we had the big scare with the fire. Sumac. I told you it would come to me. And we've been trying to kill that thing forever, and this time what I finally did, and that's what those holes were, I took a drill and I just drilled holes in that stump, and I put a bunch of stump killer in there after I cut down the branches that were already growing again. So it's like no matter what I do, it keeps growing back. So we've drilled holes, we've even poured some stump killer in on the hole that's on the top that you can't see. So I'm hoping that that'll take care of that problem. And as we come back down this way, I want to show you the lawn so you get an idea what that all looks like. And kind of look at the street there a little bit. And now you can kind of see what, on a hazy day, what it looks like looking down the hill. Kind of a nice sunny picture, but you can't really see a whole lot. Now here's where I'm usually standing when I tell you about the lawn. And if you look, you'll see it was cut a couple of days ago, so we're in decent shape. It has been, the sprinklers are working fairly well. I will point out, you can see some dirt here. You can see a dirt patch over there. You can see another one over there. The others are a little harder to see, and there's one off towards the rear wheel of that truck. What I figured out is when I'm mowing the lawn, when I'm done and it's freshly cut, you can see where the low spots in the lawn are, because the blades of grass are longer. Because the lawnmower, we're talking about basically, how can I say this? Low spots that aren't, they're smaller than the size of the lawnmower, but they're just enough to get your foot caught in. And so because the base of the lawnmower, the wheelbase is larger, it's actually cutting over those spots, but with the wheels running against the surrounding area. So that's why the blades are longer, is because it's actually lower, so it's not cutting down close to the ground. So what I'm doing is a little at a time, I'm going to fill this stuff in. This one here looked a lot more, it just seemed like there was a lot more dirt. What I'm hoping is that the grass will grow through, and that will eventually become part of the base of it, so that ultimately everything will be nice and even. So that's that. And then the one last thing I wanted to show you, ooh, wow, as somebody rubs their tire against the curb, is back here on the side of the house. And you can probably see there's a bunch of sprinkler heads now. And we tried planting just kind of on the left half of the picture there. We've tried planting some of the ice plant on that slope. It doesn't seem like it's taking too well, but we've got more. I got to get up there and pull out the weed grass that we don't want, and not weed and grass. You know, okay, there's the obvious pot jokes there. But I got to pull the weeds out, and the ice plant behind the trees has grown quite a lot. So we can pull some of that out, and if I can figure out how to get it to grow, then I'll plant it in here. We'll just put little patches, and then hopefully it'll start to fill in. And that's pretty much it. There was some sprinkler stuff in the backyard, but we just put it in, and I'll wait to see how that works out. Not a big change, just the top of the terracing just wasn't getting enough water. So we put in micro sprinklers, which are basically like regular sprinklers, but smaller. But they allow you to cover an area that's only like a foot wide, which is a good thing. Whereas the regular sprinklers, the minimum's like 4 or 5 feet. So I'm hoping that will help that particular bed, because everything we put up there keeps dying. And with that, I think that gives you a pretty good idea what's going on in the garden. And that's it. So this is the Budget Gardener signing off, saying, may your thumb be green.